And to be totally honest with you, the brand deals happened pretty much as soon as I started posting. There's no secrets being kept here. There's no point. We can all be successful together. So if my video gets 40 views, I don't care. You need to post 30 times a day. You need to have a niche. You need to do this. You need to do that. Oh, hello friends. I'm doing a little bit of a different video today. I don't think I've ever done a video like this before. Partly because I feel like I'm definitely not an influencer. I don't have a crazy amount of following, and I don't really know what I'm talking about. But at the same time, I'm sat here with a bag full to the brim of PR packages. And I think people would be really surprised to know how I've come about that. And I don't want to be a gatekeeper. We're not going to be doing gatekeeping over on this channel. So I thought I would share it with other people and hopefully help someone out there who's trying to get into content creation. Today, I thought I would share with you how to get PR packages and brand deals as a small content creator with under 5,000 followers. So a very quick introduction. My name is Misha. I've actually had social media accounts for many years. I think I started posting on YouTube back in 2016, I want to say, but I was always very inconsistent. It was more of a hobby than anything else. And I did have a few videos that did really well, and I did get a couple of brand deals, but it was just never something that I was super motivated about. Like I said, it was more of a hobby, and I just enjoyed making them and I enjoyed editing videos. Fast forward to 10 years later, I am now expecting my first baby, and I thought I would utilise my social media platforms and attempt to make somewhat of a full-time income out of it so that I can stay at home with my baby and be as present as possible and have a flexible schedule when it comes to working. That's just always been a dream of mine. So that's my intent behind posting consistently again on social media. So if you are watching this and you wouldn't mind subscribing, I would love that so much. And I would of course love to support some small creators. So leave a comment and I will subscribe to you, or let me know what your Instagram or your TikTok is and I will go and follow you and we can just support each other. And I will of course be answering any questions you have. Like I say, there's no secrets being kept here. There's no point. We can all be successful together. So I've had under 5,000 subscribers on YouTube for a long time now. I started posting on TikTok a couple years ago, and by a complete fluke, I ended up getting, I think, about 70,000 followers on TikTok. I really don't know why that happened. I never had a niche. I just posted. And again, it was for fun. It was in lockdown. Here comes Nala. And then I stopped posting on TikTok and lost about 20,000 followers. So I think I'm now sat on 50 something followers on TikTok. Let's have a look. I have 57,000 followers on TikTok. And on Instagram, I have 3,700 followers. Just to give you a rough idea of where I sit, if you want to have a look at my pages, obviously I'll link them below. But since Christmas, I've been posting consistently on all three platforms. So YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, those are the platforms that I use. And in the last 8 weeks, I have been able to work with 11 different brands, which I think is, I'm really proud of that. I think when I think of it like that and think that's more than one brand every week, that's crazy. And to be totally honest with you, the brand deals happened pretty much as soon as I started posting. One thing that was really interesting to me coming back to social media is that I used to be monetized on YouTube. So that basically means that YouTube will put adverts on your videos and you essentially get paid for those adverts. I think over the years I ended up earning a couple £100 from YouTube monetization, so it was never anything crazy. But what's really interesting to me is obviously I stopped posting, so they demonetized, whatever the word is. They stopped monetizing my channel, so I stopped getting paid for any adverts on YouTube. But now the requirements to get monetized again on YouTube are so much higher than they were before. So a lot of income on social media now actually comes from the brand deals, not from monetizing on the apps, if that makes sense. So for example, I'm on TikTok Creator Fund with my 56 or whatever thousand followers. I don't get a lot of money from that at all. My views on TikTok aren't the best at the minute. I'm not sure why, but you can't let it dishearten you at the end of the day. And it hasn't stopped me from working with brands. So I'm really just going to mention a few brands that I have worked with so far. Some are still ongoing, so you might have not actually seen videos of these yet. Nala, do you want to come and say hello? Is that what it is? Come say hi then. Hello, look, what's that? Can you see yourself? No, she wants to sit on my lap. So I've now received 2 packages from Mum Cozy, I think. I haven't actually opened this package yet, but I'm pretty sure this is a nursing bra. And then I've already received from Mum Cozy a pregnancy belly band. I've received so many clothes. Pink Blush sent me so many maternity clothes. I'm crazy grateful for them, and I've already got such a nice relationship with them as well. So I'm really excited to do some nice videos for them. I love their clothes. I've been wearing them already. I also received a romper or play suit from Mamanda. This is something that I will definitely be whipping out in the summer. I received one of the coolest LED face masks I've ever seen in my life. This is from Keski, and I'll just give you a little sneak peek if I can get it out of the bag. How cool is that? Mimi Bell also sent me 2 of their safety pregnancy seat belts. Again, I'm very, very excited to get my video up for them. Oh, this is the other Mum Crazy item that they sent me. I didn't realise that I actually had it here. This is their pregnancy belly strap. Also received a pair of leggings from Baby Go that I'm currently wearing. Received a pregnancy pillow and leggings from Baby Bub as well. I've received hair care from Brazy Curls. I've received skincare from Tsunagi. This is from Cake Maternity. I haven't actually opened this yet either. Oh, it's so gorgeous, and there's this really lovely note that comes with it as well. How gorgeous is this? I'm gonna open this Cake Maternity parcel because I just can't wait. But yeah, those are just a few brands that have sent me some of their products to try, either from gifted collaborations or from paid collaborations. So let's now get into how I've managed to do that. So as I mentioned before, I started posting consistently since Christmas, so it's been 8 weeks. Once I'd made the decision that I wanted to make social media my full-time job, I decided that I needed to treat it like a full-time job. So to me, that meant showing up every day, putting the hours in, staying motivated, staying consistent, and just staying intentional. Consistency is something that I am not the best at. Admittedly, I am not the most consistent person in the world. When I put my mind to something, I will always do it. There's no way that I ever don't do something I've said I'm going to do. However, if I go into something kind of willy-nilly and I start something, there is a chance that I won't finish it. So I think that's why this time I have managed to stay consistent, because I have an end goal, I have a why. My reasoning behind wanting to make social media work is so that I can stay at home and look after my baby and that I don't have to go to a place of work. So I think if you've decided that you want to do social media and take it seriously, maybe just sit down and decide on a why. Sorry, if you can hear any noise in the background, it's because Nala's playing with the toy behind me. But yeah, give yourself a reason behind doing this, because otherwise what you'll find is if you don't see results straight away, or if it takes a while, or if things start to get a bit slow, or maybe things start on a high and then they drop down, you might just look at it and think, oh, you know what, I'm not going to bother today. Or you might think, oh, I'll just take a break from this and come back to it. Especially if, like most people, you are starting social media on the side of something else. I think it can just be way too easy to not see the results that you want and feel very disheartened by it. So I think for me, the number one thing going into it was the mindset. I knew I wasn't going to see crazy results straight away. I knew it's going to take time, but I also knew that there is such an important reason behind this to why I'm going for it. So if my video gets 40 views, I don't care. I know in my heart that this is going to work for me. I just have to put the work in. In the same way that if I was working in an office and I just decided to not come into the office, they would stop paying me and I would probably get sacked. So kind of hand in hand with posting consistently, my mindset going into this, I knew had to be very strong. It's a really difficult one, especially depending on which platform you're looking at posting on. You will hear a lot of people giving advice on, here's how to get millions of views, here's how to get thousands of followers, you need to post 30 times a day, you need to have a niche, you need to do this, you need to do that. I think just knowing that it's going to work for you and putting in the work, there is no way it's not going to work. I wouldn't stress too much about posting 30 times a day or having a very specific niche or having all of your videos scripted. As long as you just keep showing up and you're consistent, it will work. Mattboy4 has just got back. Also helps having a very supportive partner. Oh, do you like his jumper? Can you model it for me, please? It actually looks so good on you. Mattboy4 is just going to be in the background with Nala. I'm definitely still working on my content. I wouldn't say I have a specific niche, and I think it's been a weird one for me. It's been a weird one for me because I haven't wanted to push the mummy content too much, because I do want my pages to be more about that. I kind of want them to be a bit more lifestyle, I think. And like I said before, when my TikTok blew up, for example, it wasn't because I had a niche, I don't think. So just know that you don't have to have a set plan or have things 100% set in stone before you start doing this. I think I'm kind of living proof of that at the moment. So now into the practical side of how I actually got these brands to send me their products and to work with them. In the last 8 weeks, I must have reached out to maybe 100 brands. And I don't think a lot of people would admit that. I took it upon myself to reach out to brands by email, by Instagram, by TikTok, and ask them if they would like to work together. So out of the 11 brands I've worked with so far, only 3 of those brands have actually reached out to me first. One of the brands that I'm currently working with, I actually reached out to them and said, I love your products. I'm going to be purchasing your products regardless, because I absolutely was. And I just said to them, by chance, would you be interested in working together? I post on 3 platforms and I'd love to make some videos for you in return for any kind of collaboration. And they got back to me and actually offered me a paid collaboration. So one thing I would say is that if you're starting out and you're thinking, how do I get brands to reach out to me? I don't have that many followers. Just know that 1, you don't need that many followers, and 2, there's nothing stopping you from reaching out to brands. In regards to what I've said to brands and email email templates and DM templates. I do try and keep things as genuine as possible. So I usually just start by introducing myself very briefly, letting the brand know what my content is about, letting them know why I would like to work with them, and then just asking if they would be open to collaborating. The worst you're going to get is a no reply or a we're not open to collaborating at this time, but we'll keep you in mind for the future. Absolutely nothing bad is going to happen from you reaching out to brands. In turn, I found that the more brands I reached out to, the more brands that were then reaching out to me. Another thing I would say is that I know that on TikTok I have a significantly larger following than on Instagram and TikTok. I have got the most brand deals and collaborations from Instagram. So again, it just goes to show that you don't need a crazy amount of following. The brands aren't that interested in that nowadays, I don't think. I think because you can have 200, 300,000 followers, but if your posts aren't engaging or they're not coming across how a brand would like to be advertised, then they're just not going to be interested. If you can show through your pages that you're creative, that you're a safe place for brands to advertise their products through, that is much more valuable than having all of these followers. Engagement obviously does help, and you can find engagement tips everywhere. It's pretty simple in my eyes, but I'm obviously just sharing the things that have worked for me personally so far. And most importantly, above all else, do not give up. If this is something you want to make work for you, you will do it. The only reason that this won't work for you is if you give up, if you stop trying, if you stop posting. Like I said, I think you really have to think about it as a job, and if you want it to treat you and pay you like a full-time job, you have to treat it like that. For me, I know it's not something that's just going to fall into my lap, even though by fluke I happen to get these followers on TikTok, for example. Just because I have the followers, it doesn't mean that I'm magically just going to get paid for it. So work, work, work from now on. I am very happy and very, very grateful for how things have gone the last 8 weeks, and I'm going to continue to post, of course. I very much look forward to working with more brands in the future. I have set myself some goals for this year, so I would love to get a few more paid collaborations and also just collaborate in general with brands that I personally love anyway. Having a community is really important to me as well. That's one thing that I've always loved about YouTube, for example, is the community behind it. Just all the lovely comments and wishes that I get from strangers. It genuinely makes me feel like they're my friends, like my little YouTube friends. If you have any questions or you would like to know anything else that you think I've done that I might not have mentioned, please let me know, because I've probably just forgotten. And if you like these style videos, maybe I can start a series, like a no gatekeeping, secret telling series. I don't know, let me know. Have a good day, evening, night, wherever you are in the world, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video.